I call this meeting to order.
I can't hear anything.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear any dong.
Hello, welcome everyone to our Zoom meeting. And I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and had a nice Memorial Day. I spent it with my family and thought about some friends that I have lost in the past. So it was a good holiday to be with your family. So before we get started, I want to welcome Jeff. I saw him somewhere. There he is. Hey, Jeff, good to see you. Good to see Sean. I saw Sean somewhere. There she is. Daryl, would you like to do the honor of giving us an invocation?
Sure. May we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this ability to gather and to work as one club, trying to do the things that you want us to do. We ask that you lead us and guide us, direct us and protect us, and that all the things which we think, say, and do will be pleasing unto you. We ask that you bless this meeting, bless us, bless our endeavors, and lead us forward to get through this pandemic. And we pray particularly this week for those that we have lost in service to our country. We ask that you be with us and lead us. And we ask it all in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. I do have some announcements.
I have, John, can you hear me? Okay, you do. Okay, well, we have a few dozen people in the meeting. Can you get on the line? John? I'm sorry, what? Can you get on the conference call?
Well, I don't know how to do it. But
When I sent you an email, did you get that email yesterday afternoon?
yeah, but that didn't help me.
There is a telephone number down at the bottom that you can dial and join this meeting.
What's the telephone number again? And I'll dial.
Okie dokie. Anybody got the telephone number handy?
Hold on, I can.
Okay, can you hear Karen?
I'm trying to find it, and it's going to take me a minute.
Yeah, sorry I got this so messed up for you.
Can John hear us? Because we can hear him.
Yeah.
BR 549.
Okay. Hang on, Ted. What?
Yeah, I said BR 549.
Man, that dates you.
It does.
Butterfield was. Okay, Karen, can you get that number for me?
Oh, yes. I can get in my email.
Send me an email.
Okay, Karen, can you send John Daly an email, or do you have his number?
You can do.
All right, hold on a second. I'll give you the number.
Okay, hold on just a minute.
Okay, here's a phone number.
You ready?
Yeah.
1-312-626-6799.
Okay.
Do you think do you need the meeting ID?
Yeah, you'll need a meeting ID.
Sorry, I can't understand. I don't know what you're talking about.
When you call in that number, it'll ask you for an ID, and and Karen has got the ID.
Okay. Which is?
857-3736-3947.
857-3736-4947.
3947.
3947.
3947.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay, John, I just sent you an email to daily.john@yahoo. It's on an email. Okay, he's hung up now. John wanted to tell us about what all's been going on with him. And it was such an interesting meeting last week to share with everyone, you know, what was happening and stuff. It was just absolutely, I thought it was amazing. Good meeting, a very good meeting. And Mo was very excited about that. So Karen, I'm going to mute myself and shut up, and it's all your meeting.
Okay, all right. Well, I do have some announcements. I was hoping Sheila was going to be on today, but I don't see her.
Adjust the volume on that, if you don't mind, 1 second. Sure.
Could everybody mute their phones because I'm hearing backgrounds from somebody?
Clubs here in Brunswick County, we were asked who did we want to give additional money to, and it was between Brunswick Family Assistance or Hope Harbor. So all 5 clubs voted, and 3 votes went to Brunswick Family Assistance. So our district is going to be sending some more money to Brunswick Family Assistance. I got a memo from Cars for Cart. I don't know if you all received the same flyer, but he's doing that contest again where you can win a car. You can win a Corvette, a Lexus, or a Tesla, or you can take cash. So the tickets are $100, and the contest will end December the 12th. I think I did it last year, but obviously I didn't win. And then on June 23rd, that is going to be the district leadership installation. It's going to be at 6:15 on Zoom. And if you have not had a chance, you need to go take a look at the updates to our website. Josh has worked really hard, and he's put some more updated pictures up for us, and it looks really, really good. And we need to be talking about, Daryl, your changeover party. I don't know if you're planning to do that by Zoom or how you're planning to do that. And it looks like he might have John on the phone. But those were all the announcements that I have. Yeah, it looks like Daryl is talking to John. So. Maybe he's not going to be able to get on. I don't know. Erlene, I was going to tell you congratulations on your niece. If I can unmute you. Daryl.
Make a comment. Someone said that Zoom meetings reminded them of the Brady Bunch.
It does.
I think this group looks more like Hollywood Squares.
Did you hear Mark? He said that this the Brady Bunch.
I haven't seen that Hollywood Squares forever. Is that still on?
Excuse me.
I have no idea. You can probably find it somewhere.
Yeah.
At like 2 o'clock in the morning on channel 117 or something.
That's right. I found it there once. Yes.
Jeff, do you have any updates on Polio Plus for us? I don't know if you can unmute yourself. Mark, how did you unmute yourself?
You just hit the mute button up at, well, it depends on where it is. You just hit it.
There's an icon. Mine's on all the way bottom left.
That's for mine, yes.
It says mute.
Mine's up in the upper right.
And if I click on it, you see it in my picture. Can you say
Yeah, I see it. He's still talking. I see it.
Everybody's mute.
And now it's off.
Yep.
Jeff, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, there
There he
we
goes.
go.
There you go. You got any
Yeah,
updates on
latest-
Polio Plus?
We have, looks like 59 cases worldwide so far, compared to 37 last year. So it's a little bit more, but I think that's mostly because of better reporting. But, you know, they've suspended the polio for now because of the COVID. But the cool thing is that they're using the infrastructure and all the best practices that we are using with polio to help with this. So it's really, really exciting that Rotary's helping in a tangential way.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Mark Deans, I watched that video about the water project.
The Navajo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you share a little bit about that? I thought that was pretty cool.
Sure. It's funny because I asked the person who sent it to me how she became interested in this water project for the Navajo Indians in our own Southwest. And she talked about the fact that we had worked together on a water project in South America. That when she came across this information about the Navajo Indians, she was shocked that there are people in America who live without electricity or running water. And not by choice, not because they're off the grid wackos, but because it's just economically unfeasible to bring water lines. These people who, and 2 million of them live on Indian reservations. It is interesting in the video to see that there are high power lines. There is a generating station on the Navajo reservation that travels over homes that do not have electricity. I thought that was sort of interesting.
Yeah.
And they appear to be fixing some of that with solar energy. But the Rotary clubs, several Rotary clubs in Arizona, California, and in Mexico, put together a global grant and have been bringing water cisterns to homes of Navajo people on the reservation.
That sounds like a great thing.
So far out that they can't get water unless it's brought by truck. And, it was really interesting to see these people who don't have water, and here we are. And by the way, they are being very greatly affected by COVID-19 because the first thing you're supposed to do to fight the infection is to wash your hands.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have running water, and so washing their hands is really a big deal. They also don't have sanitation, so they have water trucked in and they have outhouses. And these Rotary clubs out west have really made this a big project. It costs, in round numbers, costs about $5,000 to put a cistern and a solar water pump on a home. And I'm waiting to get more information from the clubs out there. There was a thought that perhaps we could get a Zoom meeting in conjunction with my old club in Mount Holly, New Jersey, and as a speaker have one of the people either from Dig Deep, which is a nonprofit who is actually doing the work, or from somebody from one of the Arizona Rotary clubs who have raised the money. So we might be able to get more information from that, but that's it in a nutshell. I guess that's kind of what you wanted me to share, is that I was surprised there are people in America who are living like they're in the third world.
Yeah, it was amazing. This woman was going without water and electricity with a family. It was
Mark, do you have the video handy? Because you can
You
share.
know what I'll do? I'll share that. It is a PBS NewsHour piece, runs 6 or 7 minutes, and there are a series of them. One is primarily about water. I then watched the next one, which was about electricity. That generating plant, by the way, has since been shut down, and it's in the process of being decommissioned. They burn coal, and our government has decided in the past that coal burns too dirty, and so with all the restrictions on burning coal, the plant was no longer. They couldn't do it and do it economically and meet all the government restrictions. If that speaks some to how my take on that process, so be it. Perfect. But anyway, I have a link to those. It's YouTube link to the PBS shows. And
I have it right here. I don't know if I would be able to share it with you or not. I'm gonna try.
Maybe you can
well,
just send
I
it.
don't know if you want to try to watch them on here all together, or I can send you the link. You can watch it at your leisure.
We could do it at our leisure, right? Instead of the meeting.
Yeah, I think that might be better.
It spreads across 13.
Yeah, but it was very, very shocking.
I'd like
that.
Yeah.
Karen,
Hi, Libby.
I have a video of a celebrity fundraiser for the Navajos that I can send y'all to if you want to share. But I mean, this goes way back. One of the projects we did with Wind Feather was the traditional Kickapoo who were on the border of Texas and Mexico used to go back and forth because their burial grounds were on the Mexican side, but they lived in the U.S. And the only identification they had was same thing parolees would have from prison. So this Cherokee woman, Nakai Breen, went to spoke in front of Congress and got the traditional Kickapoo U.S. citizenship. And but these were about 250 some people that their only water source was a spigot under a highway. And so our group, in conjunction with other groups, helped them purchase a homeland, the first privately owned reservation in the United States in Texas. And it was a property that had like pecan forest on it, so they could self-sustain themselves with the income off of the pecans. But this is a long-running issue of the water rights and not having water. It's going to keep going, but it's not just the Navajos, it's all over.
Yeah. Well, it would be great if we could do a global grant and be involved in that. Do we have John on the call now? I see his name.
We did.
No. Dave Morgan, do you have any updates on membership?
Well, I just heard that Tom and Betty have resigned.
Oh.
Good, really?
Oh.
I got that from you, Karen.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
That's a
Not
real
anything
shock.
Nope.
I just picked up your email this morning. I have not talked to them yet, but I plan to call them and tell them, hell no, you can't resign.
Are they okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, the resignation letter was short and sweet. It just said what we're resigning. Basically, is one sentence.
I didn't catch the name. Who was it?
Tom and Betty.
Tom and Betty.
Oh, no.
Outers.
Yeah, I emailed him back and You know, he said they just wanted to focus on other things, that it was nothing that any of y'all did. Thank God.
Well, I'll as usual, send them one of those exit surveys and after I call them and get their permission and just see. But, right now this club is pretty boring with not being able to meet and just having this. And we've got, 16 people out of 38 that join these what do you call them? What'd you call it, Mark? The Hollywood Square meetings.
Yeah.
And I think all of us miss the the food and the fellowship and the getting together like the regular meetings have been. And
But it's a good plan B though. Good heavens.
Yeah.
It's a good plan B. What else could we do? It's better than
Exactly.
nothing, certainly.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be important to get back to regular meetings as soon as we can. I don't know if anybody knows when that could be legally, or whether we just go ahead and do it and say the hell with the governor.
We can meet in groups of 25 outside. So maybe we could look at using Waterway Park. It has a cover over it, and we could social distance there and have an outdoor meeting.
Sounds good to me.
That's a nice place.
Well, how
Everybody bring your own lunch.
Yeah.
how about?
Well, if you could set that up, Mary, couldn't we just have our regular caterer come out there and have a, lunch as usual? Leslie?
If you're all comfortable having them bring the food, sure, I can have them bring it.
Yeah.
Or do you just meet?
That's right. Do we have to have lunch? You bring.
That's what I was thinking. Just bring you a drink if you want it and do that.
Yeah, you have to have lunch. You have
We
to
have
have
to have
lunch.
lunch?
You're not getting out of this, Leslie.
No, I don't care, but thinking, well, first of all, would everybody be comfortable doing that before we go ahead and just, at least on the call here, is there anybody that would not feel comfortable doing it?
Why doesn't everybody bring their own sandwich?
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, but
That's
is everybody comfortable doing this?
Is everybody comfortable?
I am. I think it's a good idea.
Can I make a suggestion? First of all, we've got the 24th coming up, and that's going to be at the hangar at the airport.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be at the hangar at the airport, and we will have tables set up in distances, and so we can all meet and families and stuff for that, and then starting in July, come up with an alternative. Okay, and that's what I suggested today, is that let's put together a team and start planning this the 24th thing. And one of the things I had suggested was, Gary Barnes has his Bonanza airplane, and supposing that we sold rides in the plane to Rotarians, their families, the kids and stuff like that, and let him take us up and around a ride, and then split the money, the proceeds between our club and his club, and do it as a fundraiser on the 24th, and then have an afternoon, and not just an hour, but an afternoon, and run through our transition. What would you all think of that?
My initial reaction is that you're exposing a lot of people to potential contact of materials that have been touched by others that, would have to be wiped down every time somebody got in and out, which would not be the end of the world.
That's a logistical problem.
Relative to our meetings,
Might as well.
Learn about income for the caterer. I mean, if we had the caterer at our outdoor function, it would provide them income.
Right.
Something I've read about group meetings like that is that you need to be aware of touching utensils.
Yes, I've heard that too.
Yeah, that's why we need the prepackaged fork and spoon.
Well,
They
even
always
the
have those anyway. They're always prepackaged.
the serving utensils.
Oh,
is
yeah.
what they talk about.
Well,
And then-
the first thing to consider is, do we want to do that? And then if so, who would volunteer to put this thing to help put this thing together? Any takers on that?
Which thing are you talking about?
Yeah, are we talking about
the
the,
24th? The first thing on my agenda is the 24th of June, the changeover.
okay, so the first question you had, Daryl, was, should we do that? And then your second question, who would volunteer to work on it?
Right.
So first question is, how does everybody feel about doing it at the airport on the 24th?
I think it's fine.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we have to wear a mask.
Oh, somebody's phone.
It's Leslie.
Karen, why don't you just have people raise their hands or do a thumbs up if they think it's fine? That way you can get a count, except for
Okay.
Dave and Tom.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up for me.
Me too.
Where's my thumb?
Okay, so it's possible to do it. And who will help?
Well,
yeah.
We're gonna
So
help.
I think it's thumbs up. Now, traditionally, Daryl, we have the district governor come. I don't think he would be able to come, though.
Well, Jeff will come.
Okay.
Jeff, you've just been volunteered.
Yes.
Take what you can get, right?
That's right.
Tough time.
And I would suggest we give it a little bit more thought of plane rides because, again, the close proximity of
Yeah.
people in the
A number of
plane.
things.
I'm not, I don't. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Of course, you just don't have to go.
No.
Plane ride.
Everybody can make their own decision on
Yeah,
that,
that's
right?
That's right.
Well, why don't somebody volunteer to jump out of a plane?
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Yes, yes.
Wouldn't be me.
How about nominees, Karen?
I wouldn't even go up in it, much less jump out of it, so.
All right, who will help me put this?
Car rides.
I will.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
Leslie,
help you.
Who?
I'll help you, Dave.
Go find somebody.
Is this for the 24th to help you put it together?
Yeah.
Okay,
think-
I'll help.
Great, that would be very safe.
If I'm around, I'm glad to. I just don't know when I'll be there, so I'm not very reliable.
So does the hangar already have tables in it, or is that
Yeah.
what we have to do?
Howie will help us with all of that and the logistics and stuff like that. It's part of his community service.
And would we do the catering, Daryl? And I know we'll talk further as we get the committee together.
I wanted somebody to do a pig picking.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Yep.
Oh,
So that's an outdoor event and just 3 items and easy. And we could use our regular caterer to do that.
Mhm.
we'll do that. Huh? Good.
Is this a good time to invite potential new members to come to this event?
I think
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it would be an excellent time.
Okay.
So you want to do this at the same usual meeting time, 12:30?
No, it'll last a couple hours.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to constrain them to start it at 12:30, but don't put an end time on it. And let those people leave after, when they get fed and socialize, and we do our transfer, whatever the changeover ceremony.
Are you preparing a long speech?
Yeah.
No, it's always traditional that Karen do the departure speech, and then we tar and feather her.
already wrapped up.
That's right.
We're going to drape her with poison ivy
Ooh.
and see how it goes. Okay, I've got Ted Eckerhoff, Dave Morgan, and Leslie. Anybody else?
We can help.
Who?
Yeah, I'll help.
Bob or Brenda?
Both.
Both? Okay.
I think Bill said he'd help.
Daryl, Peter and I will help.
Brenda and I are very good at bringing the cake knife if you need a cake knife.
Okay.
Yeah, Daryl, and I can help you too. I'll be around. I'll help you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to put everybody down. Okay. Everybody except Mike Youngdahl. Mike is not. He's worthless.
Don't bother me. It's easy.
He'll still be out in Black Mountain.
You might be right.
Okay. Listen, it's 1 o'clock and our speaker is waiting patiently. You see down on the bottom of your screen, John Daly.
Hello, John.
John, can you hear? We're muting our speakers to listen to you.
Well, what do you want me to say?
We want to know what you've been doing. Can you guys hear him?
No, but don't see him.
Not very well.
Been doing for the last 7-8 weeks. We just finished before you finished my lunch, which was brought to our.
Am I the only one that can't hear him?
No, you're not.
He feeds it.
John.
I don't see him.
We're not hearing you. We know that your computer has a speaker on it, has a microphone on it. It's coming through as a microphone. Can you speak? And you can hear. We know that you can hear us. Can you speak on your computer? Can you speak to your computer?
Wow.
I don't think that helps.
You got back feed.
Yeah, you got feedback.
Back feedback. Okay.
I've got my phone.
Oh,
Maybe he turned his phone off.
Well, we've got someplace that wherever your microphone is picking up. If you can get that, we can hear you.
He sounds a little bit like Peter Frampton.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you right now.
Yes. I can hear you.
If he put his phone on mute, would that help?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to mute you and you can speak, John, and we'd like to hear what you've been doing. So I am going to mute.
I don't hear anything.
Leslie and Ted are on mute.
Well, that's because I think we should all be on mute so it's easier to hear people, but maybe we should try something next week once we get John onto the.
John, if you could, I am going to mute everybody except my microphone because you're coming out of my telephone onto the microphone here.
Okay.
Okay? So everybody is muted, and so as you speak now, they should be able to hear you, okay? So talk into the phone. Yeah. Talk into the phone.
As I was saying, I just finished my lunch, which was brought to our apartment by the staff if you're interested, and a candy bar. But we've been doing this. We're in a lockdown situation, so we have been out. Our car has been out 3 times in the last 8 weeks, and that was to go to our bank a couple of times to get a withdrawal at the same time. Then another time we went out, we had to go back to the bank because we got another check or two. And so then we went to the Walgreens drugstore where Mary gets her medicine. And if you're familiar with Durham, that's on Hillendale Road. If you're not, then it's anything. But anyway, it has a drive-through in, so we were able to pick up her medicines without going inside. And that's about it. I have follow-up conferences with my doctors. One of my doctors, dermatologist, it's hard to do follow up with a dermatologist over the phone because you can't see anything. I can see it. I can describe it to her. But anyway, then the last was with
John, turn off your speakers. You're getting feedback. Turn off your speaker. There you go. Now talk. Lower your speakers and talk.
Well, I mean, I talked to 2 of the doctors I could do on the phone. A cardiologist, pulmonologist, dermatologist, and I haven't seen any of them for months. But so it's so that's what we've been doing, and I think I heard with Daryl that I'm retiring from Rotary, and I don't know that any of you knew this, but I gave the Heart Association, American Heart Association, 6 years, more to Rotary. I retired in the 26th year when I also retired as the first president of the Heart Association, the Midwest affiliate of the Heart Association. When I first started volunteering, there were 57. We went through a reorganization, went down to 14, and became second to last president of the Illinois affiliate, and the first president of the Midwest affiliate. 200 employees, a $30 million budget. I charged the grant budget, that was $6 million. This was back in the early, and I retired primarily because we were going to move to St. James. And so I didn't do anything more with the Heart Association because they had no activities in our area. Before we left, we sold our house and left to come up to Durham. So one online advertisement for a golf outing in someplace in Leland. And I stopped playing golf because it was, I bruised too easily. There were a lot of reasons I quit. Anyway, and I'm retiring from Rotary because I don't know what there is that I could do for them either, and I don't even know where they arranged me. Although Daryl told me, I had no idea where it is. anyway, so I'm not going to be participating except with this club. If you would like me to.
That sounds like a great idea. And I am going to unmute everyone and so everybody can talk, and some of you can hear and not. But you just heard John wanting to continue working with our club in terms of participation and stuff, because it's easier for him. And that's something that Jeff, you ought to think. Jeff, don't sleep. Damn, you were asleep.
No.
But that is bringing up a very, very interesting point, in that a lot of people who have suddenly found themselves homebound could participate in the Zoom type Rotary clubs. So, what do you all think about that?
Yeah.
I think it'd be good for John to participate with us.
Yeah, Mo Beer is a prime example.
Yeah.
I'm hearing voices from Earlene, but I don't see her.
Yes,
There she is. She's right
there
here.
I am. I'm in San Francisco.
Okay.
Early, don't fall off that cliff.
Does our district have any e-clubs?
Any what?
E-clubs?
Oh, e-clubs.
I mean, the Rotary's had those for years.
Yes, they do.
I don't know if they're, and it's kind of funny to say, is there one around here? Because the whole idea of an e-club is you can join from anywhere.
Right, but the thing that we're doing here, like with John, is a continuation of a local club.
Bring it over.
Just an outreach of a local club, as opposed to the E-Club. The E-Club has, Mike Reed talks about having people from South Africa, from Sweden, from Finland, all joining a Rotary Club, and then agreeing to do some sort of a project together. But what John is suggesting is attending meetings that are locally inspired, where people know. And I think that's a great idea of continuing, like with Mo Beers. And as long as we're having Zoom meetings, why not continue our memberships that have moved off?
Is this mine?
Yeah.
No, I really agree that that's good, because it's nice seeing Mo, but we need to work out.
Something I can do.
Yeah.
We need to work out the technical problems.
Yeah, the technical problems. Mo's thing last week worked out really well.
It did.
Yes.
It really did. It really worked out well. And John, we got to get you up to speed in terms of a camera, and we got to get Dave Morgan with a camera, and we got to get Tom McCune with a camera.
Yes.
And, so we can see. All right. Is that? Leslie has more phone calls than anybody I have ever seen in my life.
You can mute those, Leslie. You can mute the.
John, are you seeing the pictures on the screen?
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah, that's we've got to get your microphone and stuff set up, and once you get the equipment, a camera and whatnot, we can.
Camera is not happening.
Well, the microphone.
Yeah. Let me tell you how we work.
Yeah.
We have two sons who are computer scientists. When they come visit, we get stuff like that done. Otherwise, we don't get anything done. It just doesn't happen. And there is a guy here who does some extra work, but he's not very good at it. He's an employee of the forest. And Mary doesn't want him in our apartment because he doesn't live on campus. So he goes out into the town, he lives someplace out there. Same with the housekeeper. We have a housekeeper every Friday. We haven't had her for several months because she's a wonderful housekeeper. She's a delightful person. She lives out in the town, and she can potentially bring back a virus. Now, guess who is like most vulnerable person to the virus in the forest? Me. Because I had a lung transplant, and I'm immune compromised. So I'm immune compromised because of the drugs I take so that I don't reject lung. Which, by the way, could be 21 rejections. If I had a good mass, and that was luck. So, I can't think anything that I could do that would help.
Well, John, I'm going to suggest that you and I talk offline.
Yes.
And we will work out your problems because I've done it with some other people. And the only one that I failed at is with David Morgan. And that's because David won't fix his camera.
I have other priorities, but I'll get it done one of these days.
Now, is Tom McCune in? I see he's up, but we never see or hear from him.
Tom, are you up?
I'd be interested to know how John's health is, how his lung capacity has been.
You hear that, John? They want.
My health is fine.
That's a good question.
It's a question. I mean, the question is, the concern is that I would be most of the 400 people who live in the forest. I would be the most likely to die if I got the coronavirus.
Yes.
One lung, and I'm immune compromised. We're not going to have people come in here and give me a camera, and there's nothing else that I can do. Okay.
Do you have any active cases in your area where you live?
Do I have what?
Are there any active cases of corona?
Yes. There have been, I forget the numbers, but in the Duke Hospital where I had my transplant, not in the same room, Duke Hospital, there have been, I think, 300 people admitted.
Wow.
50 died and 50 went home.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. And so it's unknown. But they don't even want me to go to the clinic. Now the clinics are in a totally different building, but you can get there by walking inside without going outside. So they don't want me there. And for people like in the absolutely have to have meetings, the pulmonologists tell me that they have taken most of the chairs out of the waiting room. So everybody is seated. And not very many people get called in. I'm one of the ones that called in there. I mean, I would go if they thought it would be helpful if I came. But I'm not going to do that. They said they haven't told me they want me to come in. So, and it's just routine follow-up. Get a blood draw, blood level for various goals, what on, whatever, and an X-ray, and then an interview with the doc. They ask you how you feel. Any troubles? Need any new prescription? Okay. So, I mean, there's not a camera in my future. I mean, I mentioned we went to Best Buy, we could get a camera. Getting it installed, not going to happen, and I'm not going to Best Buy either.
We'll forego, John, we'll forego the camera if you can just figure out how to activate your microphone and on your computer there, so we don't get the feedback. But we're going to look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. And right now we're going to switch it back to Karen and see if she's got anything else. And we're getting close to our meeting time. Karen?
Okay, you'll have to forgive me if I miss it because I know that I have some appointments here. But I don't know that any of them are on Wednesday. But some of the things that I have done are here. Like there's a nurse, let's see, she does blood draws for me. And so I don't know. If you don't hear from me, that means I was busy.
Okay.
Fair enough.
We'll be sending you the invitations. Get your microphone, and because when you get that invitation, you just click on it, and you'll get to see us on the screen, and we'll play Hollywood Squares with you right now. And we'll talk to you next week again. And Karen, I'm going to turn the meeting back over to you.
Okay. Just so you know, if you have a smartphone, you can download Zoom on your smartphone and use it to join a Zoom meeting. You don't have to use a laptop.
Yeah, he can do that.
Mine's not a laptop, desktop.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that on my smartphone.
You just go to the App Store.
Uh-huh.
Go to, sorry, y'all.
Maybe you can call offline because we only have 5 minutes, Karen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Maybe you can call John offline because we only have like 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
I've got one quick question here.
Okay.
When we get in, I do want to do this fruit sale or not? I got to call the gal back from Florida, Indian River. Are we in or are we out?
I think we're out. Isn't that what we decided last week?
That's what I thought.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I thought we kind of left it open, but if that's what everybody thinks, then we're out.
Okay. And what was the reason for that? Just no interest?
Should we just not contact Linda Stanley and see if she's open to it?
That was it. Yeah.
That's what was.
We were concerned that Dozier Hospital.
Pardon me?
Dozier.
That was it. Somebody needs to connect to contact Dozier.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll get back to Lady Indian River. Thank you.
Well, wait, Mike.
Yes.
The consensus was that if Dozier Hospital would take the majority of the oranges, then it would be a go situation.
Correct.
Right, everyone?
Yeah. So who was going to reach out to Dozier? Who was reaching?
Ken was.
Yeah. Somebody was supposed to contact Dozier.
Who?
I thought it was Ken.
Let Mike do it.
Who do I contact?
Linda Stanley.
Linda Stanley.
All right, leave it up to me. I'll go from there.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I want to know.
All right.
Yeah, I personally am able to still sell fruit out here like I have in the past. I'm sure a lot of my customers would still buy fruit in October, November, December.
Okay, I'll check it out. If it's up, I'll let you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike.
Okay, Erling, did you have a question?
Yes, I want to give a report on Rick Pierce.
Okay.
I talked to Rick this week. He's doing well. They're getting a lot of painting done in their house on the inside. Unfortunately, they had an oil stove in the kitchen to explode.
Wow.
Fallon was in there, but she didn't get hurt, and it damaged some of the painting that had been done in the kitchen, so they have to redo that. But he was in very good spirits and talked and appreciated the call and appreciated hearing about Rotary.
Excellent.
Very good.
How about Andy? Has anybody spoken to Andy?
I sent him a
Yes.
card.
Spoke to Andy the other day. He is
And?
doing well.
Doing well?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why he's not joining us on Wednesdays. I know he has a lot going on and his daughter
Yes.
is here, but I'll try to get him to join us next Wednesday.
Perfect. Thanks, Mary.
And
I'm
I'll
glad.
reach out to him again too, because I've had some conversations. So yeah.
That'll be
Talking
good
to him.
deal.
All righty. Well, it is almost 1:30, and just if you want to get a ticket for the Cars for Carts, I can send that out to you. I'll also send out the video that we were talking about earlier that Mark had shared with me, so y'all can take a look at that. And I guess next week we're going to do a Zoom meeting again instead of meeting at the park.
Okay.
Karen, very quickly, you alluded to my great niece who graduated last night at a drive-in theater in Elizabethton, Tennessee. And I got to see it through streaming, and it was a wonderful graduation. They got to go across the stage there at the drive-in theater.
That's awesome.
It was great.
Good.
Hey, one quick question. I missed the full portion of the early part of the meeting, but with Leslie and Matthew's ministry, just a quick update. Do they still need food, and what do they need?
They need whatever goes in the backpacks. I just got another drop off yesterday. It's dwindled down a lot, but if you could still share it on your social media and your circles, still a drop off point. Jack is still a drop off point. So yes, and I'm still getting checks. And what they need is right on their Facebook and on their website. It changes quite a bit, but it's just what goes in the backpacks. I got
Okay.
about 50 pounds of dog food the other day.
Oh, wow.
So I called Christy and I said, I'm just asking, do you have a need for this? She said, no. So I took it up to the, what do you call it? The sheriffs, and they were thrilled to get it. So,
Yeah, that was good to see.
Cool. Well, that is all the announcements I have, and I want to say thank you, John, if you're still on. Thank you for joining us today. It was good to hear from you.
Yes.
So as we close our meeting, let's close with the Rotary motto.
Service the best self. And be careful, because Brunswick County is continuing to spike.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be very careful.
well, they're doing more testing too, right? So
Yes.
Wash
Stay
your
out of
hands.
Columbus County.
Oh my, Columbus
Yeah,
County.
we're glad
Ugh.
that's not Columbus County. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.